Welcome to Inside the Zone, and I'm clearly not Glenn Marini.
Finally, we got some professional help in here.
Here we go. Blake Sebring, always here, constant on this program. It's big news out of the comments. I mean, injury news, and just break it down for us.
Well, Taylor Crunk is going to miss the rest of the season. He's got to have he's got a labral tear in his hip, and he's going to have season-ending surgery, which is just a shame. I mean, that kid has worked his tail off all year to get to the point where he was earning a regular shift. He was on the penalty kill. He was just doing fantastic. But the good news is, it's not all bad news, is the Comets want to sign him for next year. They've already told him this, and this is why he's having this done now, so that he can be ready for next October on opening night, and they already have told him they want to bring him back, and so that's all a good thing. And then think about it. If he improves 50%, you know, when he's healthy, and he's had this since the start of the year, who knows how good he could be next year, you know? I mean, he's just come so far, and you just got to feel for the kid.
What's the timing like for this injury to undergo a surgery like that?
It's a 6-month rehab.
Okay.
And he's probably going to have surgery next week, and then they'll go from there.
But why at this point in the season? Because he could have had it maybe earlier.
Well, you could have, and then you wouldn't have. You've got plenty of forwards right now. Okay. You've got plenty of toughness right now too. But the kid's been hurting, you know. And you definitely want him back, and for him to be able to play opening night next year, you got to do it now, because it's a 6-month rehab. And so they're looking out for him. And he brought this into the season. So, you know, he's had it for a couple years. He's just been playing through it.
Yeah.
And this is the same injury that Brandon Warner had and came back, and Nick Boucher had on both hips and came back, and Vince Tarantino had, and Vince didn't come back for the Comets, but he came back to play a couple games after that somewhere else. So they know, you know, Dr. Sassenhausen, he's good on this one, okay? And so it really gives them faith that he's going to be even better when he comes back.
And it's good that he'll be able to come back healthy, but it's also good for the Comets because now they get to work on their lines and make sure the chemistry is good moving forward when it's playoff time.
Look at it this way, Andy. I mean, they're scoring like 4 goals or better in 9 games in a row. And you got Shaftsma playing defense. You got Artie playing in Tucson.
Correct.
Well, when he's playing, he's not playing, you know. You're going to have to add them back in somehow. Holy cow, are they deep at forward?
Yes.
I mean, it's just ridiculous right now what they're doing. So, you know, the competition in practice is just insane.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, you got to figure out where would Taylor have fit in that if he's hurt, you know. And so this is just going to be the best for him. It really is how they're looking at it, too, as the best for him. They don't want him to hurt anymore. They definitely want him back, and they want him back 100%.
Yes.
So let's do it and get it going.
We wish him a speedy recovery, and obviously he goes down with an injury, but another guy comes back, Justin Hodgman. He's back with an injury. He gets 2 apples in his first game back. What can he bring to this team?
Well, we've talked about this before, is Justin has the tools like probably nobody else on the team and very few people in the league. Yeah. I mean, he's big. As a center, he's fast. He has amazing hands. He's very agile. I mean, some of the moves he was making at center ice to avoid checks the other night were something to see. I mean, he has the tools to be a top 5 player in the ECHL. Now, what makes him even more special is he has the tools and the capability to make everybody else around him better, and that's what he did. You know, you could see it right off the bat. The 15 seconds in, he's forechecking down deep, forces a turnover, whips it back to Marco off goal. I mean, the goals that they scored against Adam Vey on Friday night were like, that guy never had a chance. I mean, that's how fast they were moving the puck and just winging it on him. And that's the kind of thing that Haji has the capability of doing.
How much does the experience help? Because obviously, you know Haji by the Game 7 winner way back when, and he's played in the NHL. He's done all this. How much is that experience? Can that help?
Well, and it's experience, it's know-how, but it's also the size. Okay. I mean, he's like 6'2", 210 as a center. You know, and that you're in this league, your centers are all smaller. You know, they were sending him out every defensive zone face-off basically at the end of that game Friday because he's good at it and he's so big and so hard for some other centers to handle that it was an instant advantage. Even though in the defensive end you got to put your stick down first. It didn't matter. He was just that good and that strong. Okay. I mean, the situational stuff that he can bring are amazing. And how he controls the wall. You know, I mean, he's just so big and so smart and so good with his stick there. His ability to control the wall makes them 20% better in the offensive zone when they're pinching and trying to keep the puck possession going.
And we were talking
and
about,
he's just getting into shape, too. I mean, it's just incredible.
It's going to be fun to see when it comes back, because obviously he comes back. And I was looking at stats today, and they have 9 players of 10 or more goals. They've scored 18 in their last 3 games.
Yeah.
And it feels like the Warriors out here when they add Kevin Durant. Is it
the third period? It's like, what, 24-10?
Yeah.
The last 9 games? I mean, that's almost 3 goals a period. In the third period, you should be dying then.
Yes.
And they're just putting teams away.
Is it a challenge for Gary Graham? Because there's not enough pucks to go around for this goal.
He would look at it as it's a challenge for the guys.
Yeah.
And that's the way he has to look at it, because, he was able to sit Nelson on Saturday night and give him a chance to rest, and then he put McDonald in, and he played well. It's like, guys are fighting for ice time. I mean, they're fighting for whichever line it's going to be. I mean, I wrote Friday night, they've got basically 2 number 1 lines and a number 3 line that's a very high-end number 2 line, if not a number 1 line, like they proved Saturday night when Desjardins got 3 goals, and Marcotte got 1. I mean, they are very, very talented, and you don't know who, as the opposing coach, who are you going to send out your best defensive pair against?
Correct.
Because that just opens it up for somebody else, too.
Okay. They're in second in the division right now with Toledo. Is it setting up for another one of those matchups in the playoff? Toledo comments always.
Sure, and it should be. I mean, what else do you want to see? I mean, really. I mean, that's the best hockey. They drive each other to higher levels, both teams. I want to see it. I mean, I want to see it. I don't want to miss all that.
All right. Well, thank you, Blake. Obviously, it's a big news day, and the comments still pushing forward with Hodgman out. Obviously, Taylor going down. That hurts. But Blake, thank you for joining us.
3 home games this week. They got to win.
Here we go.
They got to make some hay.
All right. Thanks for joining us inside the zone.